Hi guys, every day we learn a new reason why people voted to leave the EU. It used to be to bring down immigration, but that didn't work out very well. Then it was to do wonderful trade deals with countries around the world to replace the lost trade with the EU, but then that backfired somewhat. Now it seems the reason to leave the European Union, according to brexiteer Geoffrey, is to avoid the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. Here he said he was open to the idea of a youth mobility scheme, but not the ECJ. Have a listen.
Are you worried that the Brexit that you fought so hard to do with Boris Johnson is under threat?
Yes, I've always been worried about it once this government was elected, and indeed I've been saying so for a very long time, that the instinct of Keir Starmer will be to reverse Brexit, but it won't be done openly. It'll be done by stealth. It'll be done gradually. It will be one cumulative piece assembled with another, and bit by bit the tapestry will start to assemble in the direction that he has always believed. I mean, I was in the government when the Prime Minister was negotiating on behalf of Jeremy Corbyn, for heaven's sake, with the Conservative government to see if we could find a way of bringing it in. And
that's Theresa May, of course.
Yes, and fulfilling the decision of the British people of 2016. And I recall vividly then just what it became clear was the objective, which is to reverse Brexit. It was an aim for a second referendum. We were on the
And that's where we're going with this government, you think?
Well, I don't think he'll go...
They say not, of course.
I don't think he'll go... I don't think he's as brave as that, frankly. I think what it'll be done is stealthily. And I'm not necessarily saying that some plan and scheme for under-30s is a bad thing. I think that might be fine. Where I think is the red line is the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice.
Yeah.
I think that would be...
That's a sovereignty issue,
That
isn't it?
would be a red line.
That goes to the heart of sovereignty.
I think it would go directly against the decision the British people took. I think I'd be surprised if he did it, because it would require moral and political courage.
Okay, so now it's the European Court of Justice that people voted to leave. You know, I keep saying that people didn't know what the hell they were voting for back in 2016, but it seems, according to Geoffrey, it was to leave the European Court of Justice. Nothing to do really about immigration, nothing to do about trade deals. It was about the European Court of Justice. Now, I keep saying this. It makes more sense for the UK to rejoin the EU than just the single market. The customs union is a separate issue, but when we're talking about the single market versus the EU, it makes much more sense to rejoin the EU than just a single market. Now, I don't know, and I keep saying I don't think it's possible just to join the single market because of the complexities involved. But from a pragmatic, practical point of view, it makes more sense to be part of the European Union, because you're a rule maker, not a rule taker. In the same way as the European Court of Justice, if the UK rejoined the EU, it would have a justice on the panel of the European Court of Justice. So it would have a judge there. If it stays in the single market on its own, then it's not going to have a judge. So once again, it will be following the rules, but it won't be at the table making the rules. It won't have any influence. It'll be sitting on the outside. Now, Brexiteers keep talking about, well, we just have to wait for Brexit to deliver these benefits. They said that the benefits would be immediate from day one. But now they're saying, well, we just have to wait a few years. But they never say how long. So what Starmer seems to be doing is aligning the UK with EU standards, or attempting to do that. And the goal is noble. If it's to bring down barriers to trade, or to reduce barriers to trade, or if it's to make it easier for British people to travel, or to trade with the EU, or for trade with the EU to be easier as well. These things are noble goals. But at the end of the day, if you want to be at the decision-making table, the UK will have to rejoin. It doesn't make any sense in the long term to be just part of the single market, because you're going to have Brexiteers like Geoffrey saying, well, we are now rule takers. Yes, but the UK is already a rule taker. Northern Ireland is part of the single market when it comes to goods. Northern Ireland is within the jurisdiction of the ECJ. But Northern Ireland has no representation at the ECJ. That's the problem. And if the UK rejoined the single market alone, it would be like Northern Ireland. It would be part of the single market, but it would have no influence within the EU. So that's why I keep arguing for the point of rejoining the European Union and not just the single market. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.